Welcome to the Marketing Revolution Podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution Podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. Coming to you guys today with an overdue podcast. Man, it has been crazy. I think the last time I talked to you guys was maybe about a month ago, and we were talking about the Marketing Savage Elite Mastermind that launched. And man, we not only sold out, I ended up doubling up the seats on that, the Marketing Savage Elite Mastermind. So we doubled up the seats. We had our first mastermind. We're getting prepared to have our second mastermind. So things have been busy. We are out here literally building people's dreams for them. And if any of you guys haven't checked it out, also my boys, Trevor and Kale from the Real Business Owner podcast, we actually just launched their mastermind recently, sold that bad boy out. Them guys are studs, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, go over to the Real Business Owner on Instagram or just check it out on iTunes, their podcast. Man, it has been so busy, one thing after the next. And many of you guys who have been following the show for a while, you guys know that we just moved to Texas in July. And man, you know, the purpose of that was to open doors. And sometimes, you know, you have to grow to the size that you know that you're capable of. You got to get into a bigger environment. It's like a fish in a fish tank, man. You know, a fish is only going to grow as big as the tank that the fish is in. And for us, it was a lot about that, moving out here to Texas, getting out of our comfort zone, you know, leaving Ohio, which was you know, I spent my entire life in Ohio. My wife had spent her entire life in Ohio. But we knew that there was opportunity. You know, it's almost like, you know, back in the day, I kind of know how the people felt when they were going out to the gold rush, right? And, you know, there was all these promises of gold that was out there. What a lot of people don't talk about, though, is that most people went out for the gold rush and they didn't make any money. They ended up failing, or, you know, they bought a piece of the land by the river that wasn't producing as much gold. The people that actually made a lot of money in the gold rush were the people like supplying the tools. And, you know, I gotta say that in this day and age, we really did see almost like a digital gold rush. And you've seen that with COVID, where people, their main channels, what they were like, everything shifted. Their main channels, what they are watching on a daily basis, what they are looking at on a daily basis has changed. And people's screen time went through the roof. And, you know, which really prove the fact thing that I've been screaming. I've been like Chicken Little all these years, you know, the whole sky is falling thing. And many of you guys who have followed me in multiple different industries, you guys know that I've been like this for many years. And I've been telling you guys who are not out there online, not promoting your business, not doing the things that you should be doing, not creating a connection with your audience out in the social media world, you guys at one point were going to get left behind. And we seen that during COVID. I mean, it was a huge shift. It would have taken much longer, not too much longer, but it would have taken longer without that happening. But the shift went online, and now we got people that are, man, if you could imagine 2-3 years ago, people talking about NFTs and people talking about cryptocurrency and stuff like that, like all of that online stuff exploded during this time simply because there were more eyeballs on the internet and more eyeballs on social media. So my friends, I'm telling you right now that the gold rush is still happening. It is still out there. And yes, you do got to connect with your audience. The people that are going to be left behind are the ones that don't adapt to this change. and that don't get out there and start doing things. Man, it's just as simple. I want to give you guys some simple things because I know some of you guys are probably sitting there thinking, well, man, I post on my Facebook page. I pay somebody to do this. I don't really like to do that. I like to get on there and read a little bit. I don't really want to get out of my comfort zone and get out there and do a video or anything like that. But my friends, you got to step out of that comfort zone. I think we've been taught in this world that you don't want to ever feel insecure. And the problem with that is that means that you're going to be sitting with your security blanket. Whatever you're doing right now, you're going to have a snuggie security blanket wrapped around you, sitting there if you're not feeling insecure. Now, there's two ways. Like, you really shouldn't feel insecure about things that happened in your life in the past, right? So you shouldn't feel insecure like you can't dance because when you were in 5th grade, you stepped on some girl's toes and everybody laughed at you. That's a bad insecurity. The good insecurity is when you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're in an area of life that you don't feel fully secure. All right? So you don't feel fully in control. That's when you are expanding into a bigger, better version of yourself. And I believe a lot of people right now are facing that. I see a few rising to the top, but there's not enough. There's not enough of you guys out there learning how to connect with people online. There's not enough of you guys out there really mastering the art of bringing people into your world and teaching them what you do through storytelling, through, I call it the Savage 7. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's a whole other podcast. Scroll down a few podcasts. You'll find it the Savage 7, where I talk about the 7 elements of your life that you can rotate to keep it interesting and engaging and entertaining. So there's ways that you can do this, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to start learning these things, and you got to be committed to trying things and seeing what works. One of the interesting things about social media is that it also takes consistency. So there's that level of, we've got to feel a certain level of rejection for a while, meaning that you're putting things out there, you're giving it all of your effort, you're maybe putting out really good things. And there's going to be a level like months and months and months where you're just really not getting anything in return compared to what you're actually putting out. But you got to get over that, because with consistency, with education, with the right knowledge, doing the right things day in and day out, you build a machine that creates leads. And I'm telling you this because I know, because we have made multi-millions of dollars doing this over and over and over. The people in my Marketing Savage Inner Circle, the ones who went through my course and completed it, they all understand this. They understand every element about it. In fact, you don't even got to go there. You can go through this podcast and you can find all the different elements, from teaching you how to identify who your avatar is. The Savage 7 is huge, because there's a lot of mistakes people made. Again, that's another podcast, but I want you guys to dig through, look at that stuff. If you're a new listener, go through some of these past episodes. A lot of this stuff that I taught, very, very short, easy to listen to episodes. A lot of this stuff that I taught was designed to help you learn this and turn your social media into a hobby where you are making money, okay? Because at the end of the day, it is quite honorable to go out there into the world and provide so much value that somebody is willing to pull that green thing out of their pocket, right? That cash, or nowadays that credit card, that Amex Platinum, and drop that motherfucker on you and make an exchange, okay? It is very, very honorable to do that. So get out there and get it done. All right, guys, appreciate you for coming along on this Marketing Revolution podcast. If you haven't got on it, head on over to the Marketing Savage Facebook group. And I know that I'm talking to some folks out there that I have helped over and over and over again. If I've helped you, and then you come up to me in person, one of these days you're going to come up to me in person, you're going to meet me in person, and you're going to say, man, you helped me, this and that. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to ask you if you wrote me a podcast review. What are you going to be able to say whenever I ask you that? Hopefully it's, hell yeah, I have. And then I'm going to stand there, I'm going to look it up with you. So anyhow, y'all, I appreciate you guys for coming along on this Marketing Revolution podcast. Head on over, write me a podcast review. That's how we get the message out. Head on over to the Marketing Savage Facebook group. You want to jump into the community, get into the entertainment over there. Man, as usual, I'm going to see you guys on that next one.